Here's the drop. It takes a lot of money to create a behavior. The need of getting from point A to point B, that is an everlasting need that always existed. Prehistoric times, we've always needed a way to get from point A to point B. It was a horse carrying a carriage, then it became a car. We've had trains, we've had the buses, we've always had these ways. And Uber comes along and says, I want to create this other method of getting around from point A to point B, and I want to do it at scale. Not introducing a new need, just introducing a new way of doing things. That's the behavior, and it costs them billions of dollars to train people, B, to be so comfortable with picking up their phone and swiping on an app to order a car that for some of them, they've created a lifestyle around them. For those that said, I'm not going to go buy a car because I'm just going to rely on Uber, that's the behavior that Uber has created. For those people that move to another city without a car because he relies on Uber or these ride sharing, that did not exist. Uber has spent a lot of money to create the ride sharing economy. The ability to hire a car to come directly to you and pick you up and go someplace else was a premium product. That's the only way that that business model survived, was that it had to be a premium product. You had to really need this service and be willing to pay more for it because we need to pay people a livable wage in order to have that driver there. But at the level that you need it to be Walmart prices, there's no way that we can create this business and have a respectable business model. And so while we had this concierge service, the limo driver, the private shuttle service and things like that, which was always kind of expensive, and yeah, it wasn't as available as Uber, the creation of Uber meant that we now created a whole new economic model, not just Uber, but the entire category of people fighting to stay alive. It created a lopsided economic model.
What you're saying makes sense, right? It became so difficult to consistently get an Uber where I lived before I moved to my new location. I actually found a third-party service, a local third-party service, that is my go-to airport service. So every single time I book a flight, the next thing I do is to send a picture of my flight information to the service, and then they send me a text back saying, we're picking you up at this time. I will often hire an Uber Black car, which is a little bit more expensive, but the idea behind an Uber Black car is that they're supposed to open the door for you, they're supposed to be like better drivers, and it's supposed to be sophisticated. This airport service I use is essentially the same people who would come from the Uber Black service. But the difference is that the airport service actually does open the door for you. When I'm at the airport, they'll actually come over and get my bag for me. The original question was just like, I kind of miss taxis. When you think about it from that luxurious standpoint too, it actually does not execute in the same way. Even though you're getting these people who are supposedly black car level service, they don't do black car service. And that's partially going back to your idea, which is these drivers are just like, well, we're only getting paid so much. So you actually haven't earned the black car service that you supposedly booked. And that's part of the problem.
You're 100% right. I cannot stand when a Tesla Uber comes by to pick me up because this is someone who did not want to be an Uber driver, but they've got to pay that Tesla bill, and now they're an Uber driver. It is the worst experience because there's no concierge service. They are not going to get out the car, open up the trunk to put your luggage in there. They do not want to be seen putting your luggage in their Tesla truck.